All right, so you have shortlisted Shea as a top choice, but that still leaves you with 3 communities to choose from in the Denver area. So how are you going to choose? Well, we are going to dive deep today. Hey everyone, it's Alyson with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. Shea has been prolific in the development of South Denver historically. Like if you were to live here, if you already live here, if you're moving here and you didn't even buy a new construction home, it's probable you'll still live in a Shea home. But let's talk about the new construction side of things. They have 3 new communities available to you. They have the Canyons in Castle Pines, Solstice in Littleton, and Lyric in Lone Tree. Now, Shea is not a luxury builder or a custom builder, but it's going to kind of feel like it when you look at their average above grade square footage price. They come in at $362 per square foot. Down here in South Denver, Toll is running $336 above grade for their average square foot price, and Richmond and Taylor Morrison are running more like $312 a square foot for their average above grade square foot price. So Shea certainly comes in at a premium. Some of this cost differential is because Shea is a privately held company, not a publicly traded company like most other builders. Being a smaller builder than most of the ones you can identify means they do business in a different way. They certainly have less overall buying power than, say, a Lennar, a Richmond, even a Toll because of Toll's growth and what they've gone through in the last couple of years. On the other hand, Shea tends to have long-standing relationships with their trades, which is great for you with building, and with their employees. All right, let's dig into these communities. We're gonna start over in Solstice in Littleton. Now, there are 5 collections in Solstice, but we can really break them down into 2 groups. There's the 2-story home side and the ranch collections. In the 2-story home side, we have 3 collections. Going from smallest to largest in those, we've got the Harmony collection where we're going from 3 to 5 bedrooms max, only 2 garage bays across the board there. And they've got more than 100 homes left to sell. Next up is the Stargaze collection. They have 2 to 6 bedroom options. Now that 2-bedroom option, it's kind of rogue. It's the only ranch plan in this 2-story set of options, and that bedroom count grows drastically if you finish the basement. You have 2 and 3 garage bay options over here and around 100 homes left to be sold. Then we get to Trails Edge. These are the 3 to 8 bedroom homes. These homes are big and they've been popular too. So here we have 3 to 4 garage bay options. This getting out of the 2 to 3 garage option and getting to 3 to 4 is something people have really gravitated toward. We all also have a lot of stuff, don't we? But it's nice to be able to get all the cars inside, especially with the hailstorms and the weather shifts we're seeing everywhere. But people have liked them so much, they have fewer than 10 homes left to be sold, none from dirt. They are all spec'd out, and those homes include the models, which they will be selling off shortly too. When we look over here at the ranch homes, we have 2 collections in there. There's a smaller collection called Horizon. There are 4 floor plans in there. They range from 2 to 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage bays only. And then there are the larger floor plans. These are in the Reflection collection. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. 4 floor plans in there, also ranging from 2 to 4 bedrooms. So it's not that you necessarily get more bedrooms, you just get a lot more space. And then you have options for 2 bays or 3 bays for your garages. In both the ranch collections, there are about 100 homes remaining for sale. So that means the 2 ranch collections, the 2 smaller home collections, each have about 100 homes left to go. Shea's been very consistent in how they're releasing them. So the whole community should sell out at around the same time. So what are the unique things to the culture and the vibe and the feel of Solstice? First, it is the only community they have available right now where you can get 4 garage bays, and that is a selling point. We are seeing more and more builders add this on to their homes. Its location is unique. It is one of the few spots in town where you can build on the west side, up close to the foothills. Yes, there is Sterling Ranch. The builder selection in there is very different than what you would find with Shea. There are a few others dotted around. There is Millstone, there is 3 Hills. You've got Red Rocks Ranch with Lennar. You don't have a lot of options on the west side, particularly if you want to be toward the south. Then when you look at all of those options and you factor in things like proximity to major roads, if you have power lines nearby, this is one of the very few communities that gives you quiet, keeps you tucked away, gives you a lifestyle where it really feels like you have some privacy and some seclusion. That list narrows down very quickly when you add in some other factors if they're important to you. This community has direct access to the 70-mile-long Highline Canal. There truly are amazing foothill views over here. Not every house gets them from the house because it's so flat. I mean, this area is like meadow, foothills. So you will have to be out and walking if you didn't pay the lot premium to have them from your back door, your front porch. But it doesn't take much to see them out and around a corner, on a trail, in the open space, and the community amenities, and they really are breathtaking. Speaking of amenities, the amenities include pool, fitness center, several parks. There's a 37-acre linear park that runs through the community. They've got just lots of nice spaces to gather. I would say that the Highline Canal access is an amenity, and then the community is surrounded on multiple sides by Chatfield State Park, which means no new communities are coming in and boxing you in. Now, I did talk about privacy, I did talk about quiet. Those can be downsides around here. You have pretty much one major road in and out. There's another one that kind of shoots off, but you're still kind of getting in and out through one major way. You can buy a pass to cut through Chatfield and get out of the park that way. So you'll find a couple ways to get in and around. But in the summertime when Chatfield, the reservoir, the park gets busy, you're contending with some traffic there. But really, if you don't mind being set back a little bit, it's not a bad thing. Now, if you don't want the inconvenience of driving to the grocery store, driving for school, driving for work, driving to go grab a quick dinner, driving for this, that, and the other, you may not enjoy being out here because it is a little bit more secluded and it's going to take a while for all those amenities to come in. The community doesn't have a coffee house where other communities do. Lyric will have one. The Canyons does have one. So if you want that kind of third space in your neighborhood, not here. Now, to be fair, you've got one up the road at Sterling Ranch. They have one. It stays busy, but you're going to have to leave your neighborhood and go to another one. I don't think any of the available lots have to contend with this anymore, but the community does bump up against the remote control plane park area of Chatfield. This is where people can go and play and fly these remote control planes they've built. Some of these can be really large. So depending on the size of the motor, it can be a loud hum, and people usually do this on the weekends. So if that bothers you, if that's a noise that you don't want to hear, also know that. Again, I don't think any of the lots that are selling now are going to be up against that edge, but I always disclose anything that I can think of that is a noise or a nuisance so that you're aware. Price range right now is $775,000 to $1.2 million based on the smaller homes to the largest. Your monthly output for HOA or HOA plus Metro District is running $160 a month, and your property tax is $1.25. All right, let's scoot right over to the newest community, which is Lyric in Lone Tree. Starting from smallest to largest in their collections, we've got the Tribute Collection, which has a whopping 7 floor plans in it. Again, we can kind of break these down into 2 separate areas. We have what looks like the more traditional home, and then one that is more like a row home, a tall town home, 3 floors above grade. Now, this more traditional looking home is the one where they offer the ADU option. I've done some other videos on Lyric. You can check those out as well. This smaller collection, this Tribute Collection in Lyric, is the one that's the most dynamic, the newest for Shea in offering these ADUs. An ADU, if you're not familiar, is an accessory dwelling unit. It's a legally rentable unit inside your home. It doesn't have to be inside, but these are. In this smaller collection, you're still getting 3 to 5 bedrooms, only 2-car garage options, and they slated the most homes in this collection out of phase 1. They still have 140 left to sell. So a lot of opportunity here before they have to move on to phase 2. These are at the front of the community, the tight lots. These are small lots, small homes. They're building vertical with the tall ones. And then again, you have a more traditional style look with some of the other ones. Stepping up in size, we go to Storyteller. You can get an optional ADU, an optional bonus room, some other creative builds in this one. This is also a low maintenance option. 3 to 6 bedrooms, 2 to 3 garages. Alley load style parking. This is going to mean higher HOA because they have to bring in the HOA to clear all the snow. They can't count on neighbors to take care of what is their own. There really is no their own. These have been popular. They've sold more than 30. They have just 45 more to go in this phase 1. Moving up to the largest collection, which is Legends. This is where I have one of my clients who selected a home. We see 2 to 7 bedrooms. Do not let the 2-bedroom option fool you. This one can have a pop the top option, you can finish the basement, and then when you do all of those things, this becomes the second largest floor plan that you can get out of the Legends collection. We like our large homes here, and it's shown because they have sold 2/3 of their homes already. They have just a little more than a dozen homes left to sell, and then they'll have to move on to phase 2. Overall, the finished price range in Lyric is running around the 700s to about 1.1 million. We don't have enough closed homes to get a for sure feel of where we are price-wise, but based on what I'm seeing from the few specs that are available, talking to my colleagues, seeing where my clients are with their property, this is a pretty well-educated guess of where we are today. Prices will, of course, just go up from here. They are moving up in terrain. It's giving us higher views, better views. They're also developing land that's really close to I-25. So let's talk about some of the unique things about this community. Lyric is definitely an urban-suburban mix style community. It is not a suburban neighborhood. It is not something where someone is, hey, I want to go back and be away from everything. I want big trees and quiet feel. That is not the design. Lots are small. It's designed to be easy maintenance on the homeowner. They'll have lots of common space, places to gather. Amenities wise, they do plan to have a coffee house or eatery. They'll have a fitness center. They'll have a pool. This location was chosen because light rail is nearby. So close, it's going to be walkable once the parks go in that are on the edge of the neighborhood. So you're going to have a park that kind of finishes off the edge of the neighborhood, meets up with the regional park. The regional park will be adjacent to the light rail, and you can meander your way from home to the light rail. Don't even have to take your car. While there will be some mountain views, they're not the thing. You'll have views of Ridgeline. You'll have views of downtown or toward the tech center. It's not without views, but you are also seeing a lot of concrete. You will see I-25. You will see urban corridor kinds of things here too. There are power lines visible. Some are very close to the neighborhood, some are higher up and away. So there is definitely an urban mix and feel to the community. That's not bothering sales. The reason this neighborhood was developed is because of the popularity of a neighborhood very similar up north called Stapleton. It's now renamed Central Park, but Stapleton was the reutilization of the old Denver airport where it used to be before we moved it way, way, way out there. And when Stapleton was built, it was in the top 1, 3, 10 rankings of all master plan communities that were being sold in the US at the time when it was first opened. It sold like gangbusters. So Shea has had this. It's been a twinkle in the eye for a very long time. It just takes a long time to get things moving. So if you're a dyed-in-the-wool suburbanite, this is probably not the place for you. If you want to get more home for your money than living in Wash Park, this might be the place for you. You'll have trails, you'll have some green space, you'll have light rail, you'll have job opportunities nearby. We've got Schwab and we've got other financial opportunities. We've got healthcare. We have all sorts of stuff that's really, really close. And then if you're gonna commute, you've got light rail that's gonna take you other places. If you're thinking of building a real estate portfolio, the fact that we've got ADUs here, the fact that you could house hack, the fact that you could get into the top edge of your budget, but then turn around and rent out a huge portion of your house and offset that, another great opportunity that really virtually no other builder is doing anywhere. For Shea, they're doing no other low maintenance options in any of their communities, so Storyteller is the unique collection there, and they mix in the ADU piece too. HOA fees are $240 a month. This is going to be the neighborhood with the highest HOA fees. Storyteller collection, they are higher because of the snow removal. So Storyteller is going to see HOA fees at $325. That's today. They're going to go up from here. Property taxes are at 1.16%. All right, let's scoot down to the canyons in Castle Pines. Definitely a good one for the dyed-in-the-wool suburbanite. We are going to start with the Gallery collection. When this collection first opened with Shea here in the canyons, you didn't used to be able to finish the basements. So I would always call this the entry-level set of homes. It always felt like it was the most affordable option. The homes definitely lean smaller, But there have been some major changes. 1, you can finish the basements now. 2, they have added a couple new floor plans, the Alyson and the Pemberley. That really changes things up because these new home designs give a lot more flexibility to the livability in this collection overall. With the Alyson, you can pop the top so you can add some space above. It's a ranch giving you main floor primary bedroom. Now you can finish basements in these homes, like I said, so you have a potential for 3-story living, but with a main floor bedroom that extends the life cycle of living in this home. The Pemberley is up to almost 5,000 square feet, potential for 7 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. So it really gives more growth, more opportunity to spread your wings and get more people into your house without upsizing and upgrading base price-wise into a luxe. So between the size of the Pemberley, the main floor living of the Alyson, you could really go into the gallery and stay there versus upsizing your price into the ranch or the luxe collections. So there are 6 floor plans in the gallery collection. They range from 4 to 7 bedrooms. They've been lucky enough to move into phase 2 already, which means they have new lots available for you as well. Next up is the luxe collection. This is the big collection. Your 2-story large grand homes, mostly 20-foot ceilings if you have a double vault ceiling in there. These are 3 to 8 bedrooms. The lots they have available now are set back and high up in the community, and the price tags show it. I just got the lot release numbers for this month, and the premiums range from $180,000 to $240,000 for the walkout open space lots. Yes, you heard me right. $180,000 to $240,000 is the range for the walkout open space lots. As a comparison, on the same street, if you have an in-ground basement lot that is not facing anything, just another house, so your interior, your lot premium is just $10,000. So it's a huge premium in the canyons to have a view, whether it's a view of the canyon, a view of the mountains, a view of the reservoir, whatever it is. If there's no one behind you and you can see, you are paying a pretty penny for it. The Luxe collection contains the largest home Shea offers. They are on par with what you would find in Trails Edge. It's just they're not running out over here. Trails Edge is down to a handful of homes, no dirt, can't create, and you won't get walkouts over in Trails Edge. So the choice factor, the lot factor, all sorts of things are part of what drive people to where you're gonna be. If you want a large home and you want choice, you're going to be moving toward the canyons as your location. Moving over to the 2 ranch collections, the Retreat is the larger collection. They have about 20 lots left to sell before they move on to phase 2. They offer 6 floor plans, all ranging from 2 to 5 bedrooms. And then the smaller collection is the Reserve collection. I don't know why they did them both with R's. It can make it hard to remember. I just try to remember that reserve means, if you're reserved, means smaller, but it won't matter. Once you find the floor plan you like, you'll just move forward and name your floor plan. Now, the Reserve collection, they have moved on to phase 2 already, so they have all new lots. That means they have about 70 options available for sale in here, so they'll just keep rolling those out. 4 floor plans available, 2 to 4 bedrooms. Now, I have not talked about garages with each separate collection because everywhere it's 2 to 3 garages. You're going to get 3 in the Luxe collection, but everywhere else it's going to kind of depend on the house. Now, it's worth noting, we do not see Shea replicate their floor plans in their communities. They strive to be different everywhere. You don't see the same floor plans in Trails Edge as you do in Luxe. We don't see anything that's similar from Lyric to any of the other 2 communities. But where we do see some similarities are between the Ranch collection in the canyons and the Ranch collection over in Solstice. They're not all the same, but you will see some overlap. If you were to like something in the smaller collection and you saw it in Solstice and you saw it in canyons, interestingly, you're gonna find it's cheaper in the canyons, probably by somewhere between $30,000 and $65,000 for the base price. If you like something in the larger collection, you're gonna find that it's cheaper in Solstice. In canyons, it's running somewhere between $70,000 to $90,000 more in base price. What I can tell you is that overall, regardless of base price, you're probably paying more for a house in the canyons just because of options. the fact that you can get a walkout lot, the fact that you may have to have a structural basement, the fact that you have choice, the fact that you're going to have a larger lot, the fact that it's not going to always be in ground, may not be backing to a neighbor, all the things. All right, let's talk about the unique things to the canyons. What's unique to their vibe, their feel? Well, everywhere across the board, it's 2 to 3 garages. We don't have any 4-car garage options in here. You're going to need to add on to your price tag to purchase doing full landscaping. They don't do anything in the front. They don't do anything in the back. Their reasoning, so they say, is that when they built the back country in Highlands Ranch, they didn't offer any landscaping front or back. And they feel like they got a much more luxurious feel to the community. When every owner took responsibility for the whole yard, they feel like the community looked better and has been maintained better. I will say, from selling homes in the backcountry, I do feel the same way. When you go in, it looks different, it looks higher end. So they're trying to bring the same thing to the canyons. We'll see long term how that pans out. The backcountry is also a gated community where the canyons is not. There are pluses and minuses to both pieces there, but their goal is to keep an elevated sense to the community. But it certainly adds to your out-of-pocket piece after you purchase. Amenities wise, they've got a resort pool. They're finishing up their fitness center. They have a coffee house, so a third space for you to come and gather. They hold events there. They have music. They do book clubs. They have all sorts of things going on at that location, so you don't have to get out of the community to go and connect in different ways if you don't want to. About a third of the community has been reserved as open space, so there is a lot of beautiful open space. There are plenty of trails all throughout the community as well. In some parts of the community, you can see the reservoir, so you get a water view. I mean, come on, nothing in Colorado is a water view. Most of ours is man-made, but you have one. And this community is the one for views. This is the spot you come to get snow-capped mountain peak views, where you come to get rolling terrain, where you come to see green area. This is the one that charges the premium to set you up high and look out over everything. Now, the address is Castle Pines. It is not an area for pines. You do not have trees. You are in an area of scrub oak, and everything that is planted is what gives you trees. They are not naturally here. So you are not in a forested tree house kind of feeling. You have to create that. But having the wide open space is what gives you the views. On a quietness scale, I say it falls between Solstice and Lyric. Lyric is underneath the flight path, the landing path for Centennial Airport. You will also get airplane noise in the canyons from Centennial Airport too, but it is farther south, so it's going to be different trajectory, different flight patterns. It could be takeoff, it could be landing, it could be fewer planes, it could be a different part of the neighborhood. Where all the way out in Solstice, you're not going to hear nearly as much of that. It's going to be something totally different. You do have I-25 running next to the canyon, so if it's pin drop quiet, nothing else, late at night, and you step outside, parts of the canyons are going to hear the hum of I-25. Lyric, you're right on I-25. You're going to hear it, no doubt. So they're very different communities in terms of quietness. Solstice, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're hearing nothing, absolutely nothing. Overall, price-wise, across all collections, we're running around $1 million to $1.7 million in the canyons, so certainly the priciest of all the communities. HOAs are just over $170 a month. They just had a dues increase because they're adding another amenity this year, and the property taxes are 1.25%. All right, let's wrap our arms around this. Price-wise, Lyric is on the lowest end. They have the smallest options. They also have the most unique options, but they're newest as well. So smallest and newest always means lowest pricing. But on the high end, we're over $1 million for all of these communities. So Shea definitely gives us a more luxury price point, a more luxury build. Property tax-wise, they're 1.16 to 1.25. The HOA dues are all up there, but Lyric is the highest on the dues front. When it comes to landing a home, Shea starts with dirt. They are not a spec builder. So they do their lot releases the third Saturday of every month. They can and do run a wait list. You don't always need it. We have built with Shea several times. We've never gone through a wait list, and we've always had fantastic lots. We get mountain views. It's just our luck, I suppose. But if you don't see someone take the lot after the third Saturday release, if you happen to be in town or you call up on the Sunday, they'll tell you what's available. You could reserve it if you didn't have your name on the wait list. You do have to pay to be on their priority list. It's refundable, but they do require a deposit. If lots that were released at the wait list every month don't get taken within a certain period of time, then they go ahead and spec them out. And the reason for that is Shea doesn't ping pong around for their builds like Toll will. So Toll will just release everything, sell you whatever you want, you pick, you choose. Shea is very ordered, and they just move down the street. They'll kind of usually do a zigzag like this. So they have a reason and a rhyme to how and when and why they want to build. And they also need to choose this house here and describe what it's going to be, get it to permits, claim it, name it, so that they can say what is going to be available next, because there are monotony rules inside of communities. One thing I haven't said about Shea that I think is definitely worth hearing is that because they're privately held, you get more of a yes culture out of them. Doesn't mean you get to customize your home in ways that are off plan, but something goes wrong, something's not right, something is not to the level that it could be, that's within the realm of human possibility for their trades and their supers. And you say, look at this. They're more likely to say, yes, we can fix that, than, nope, sorry, that's within standard, which is the common phrase you'll hear from so many other builders. It's very rare to get a yes mentality, a yes culture out of a large corporate builder. You might get it one-off out of a salesperson, one-off out of a super, but too much yes will get up the chain and it'll get squashed at the executive level. But that's not Shea's general culture. And so that's really nice in terms of customer service long-term and what it means for you and how your home is cared for in the whole warranty process. All right, if you'd like to talk about any of these communities or anywhere else Shea has built here in South Denver and you just want to know about what neighborhood might be good for you, please reach out. It would be a thrill to connect with you. And I will see y'all next week.